Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Wheel of Shakespeare Challenge. This is our first one for the month of September. We went dark last September because I had a conflict, but we did in the time in between. We did it. Myself and Ted and a couple other people from Eager Beaver Shakespeare did our performance of The Adding Machine. I hope you check that out if you haven't done so already, and I think it went very well. I would like to encourage other people, including some of the people here that wanted to participate in that one, but they weren't available. Hopefully, they will be available for other full-length readings that we do of classic works. But for now, we'll get back to our usual of the stuff we are not prepared for, stuff that will be randomly determined by the wheel. We have with us today John, Sheila, Henry, Bill, Maggie, and Ted. And Danielle emailed me, said she's doing something. She's going to try to be here a little bit late. I hope she can make it. But said we have a pretty decent turnout, so we can get. We have a lot of talent here, even without her, and look forward to seeing it today. And first up by our random order of drawing is Maggie, and then Sheila is on deck. We'll go after Maggie. Maggie, how you doing today? Okay, let's bring up the wheel, and let's see what the wheel is going to assign to Maggie to do. Got the wrong wheel there, sorry about that. Okay, so Maggie is going to perform. No more, you petty spirits, Cymbeline. I believe this is the god Jupiter who descends, kind of the Deus Ex Machina moment of Cymbeline, where Jupiter shows up to set things right. And it begins, Act 5, Scene 4 in Cymbeline begins with "No more, you petty spirits." Let me create the banner for this. Meg, are you? I think you're muted, Maggie. Or it doesn't say muted, but I can't hear you. Okay, that's too bad. Well, let me move on to Sheila then, who is up next, and we'll see if whatever technical problems you're having, if we can figure that out. We've determined what you'll do if and when we're able to get you back into the stream. So hopefully we'll be able to come back to Maggie to play Jupiter, but instead let's move on to Sheila. Sheila, how you doing today?
Very good.
Okay, so Sheila is going to perform.
I think I just heard Maggie, so if you can come on after me, I get whatever is better is fine.
Yeah, I'll have you perform, and then I'll go back to her and see if we fix if she fixed whatever issue she had. Okay, so Sheila is going to be performing
Oh dear.
Lots of awesome.
All right, we can do that. Where is he? 5-1.
Act 5, Scene 1.
In the churchyard, yes.
In the churchyard, yes. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Oh my. Let's see now. This is, I'm still scrolling. I haven't come across the speech yet. Let's see. Ah, there it is. Okay, so this is, I've just been handed the skull. Okay. Let me see. Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him, Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest. Most excellent fancy. He hath borne me on his back 1,000 times, and now, oh, how abhorred in my imagination it is. My gorge rims at it. Here hung those lips that I have kissed, I know not how oft. Where be your jibes now? Your gambols, your songs, your flashes of merriment that were wont to set the table on a roar. Not one now to mock your own grinning. Quite chap fallen. Now, get you to my lady's chamber and tell her, let her paint an inch thick to this favor she must come. Make her laugh at that. Prithee, Horatio, tell me one thing. Dost thou think Alexander looked to this fashion in the earth? It smelt so? To what base use we may return, Horatio? Why may not imagination trace the noble dust of Alexander till he find it stopping a bunghole? No, faith, not a jot, but to follow him thither with modesty enough and likelihood to lead it as thus. Alexander died, Alexander was buried, Alexander returneth into dust. The dust is earth, of earth we make loam, and why of that loam whereto he was converted might they not stop a beer barrel? Imperious Caesar, dead and turned to clay, might stop a hole to keep the wind away. Oh, that this earth which kept the world in awe should patch a wall to expel the winter flaw. But soft, soft, aside, here comes the king.
Okay, very nice. Let's see if Maggie has solved her issues, and then Bill will be next after her. Hey, Maggie, you. Oh, too bad we still can't hear you. That's too bad. Well, I'll check with you after everybody, or message us if you think you figured it out. So anyway, Bill is up next, and Bill is going to do. Actually, one thing I'll say before I spin is sometimes I've had that issue with the sound, and it's just still can't explain it. I just shut the computer completely down and then started it again, and it was fine. You might want to try that. Anyway, Bill is going to perform. The three shadows of a thunder. Very very end of Midsummer Night's Dream.
All righty.
Okay, so that's the very end of the play. It should be easy.
Yeah.
So whenever you're ready, let me take myself out of the stream. When you're ready, go.
If we shadows have offended, think but this, and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here while these visions did appear. And this weak and idle theme no more yielding but a dream. Gentles, do not reprehend. If you pardon, we will mend. And, as I am an honest puck, if we have unearned luck now to scape the sharp serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long. Else the puck a liar call. So, good night unto you all. Give me your hands, if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amens. See.
Very nice. Okay, Ted is up next, and then Henry. Let's see. There we go. Ted, you're up. And Ted is going to perform. Titus Andronicus, hear me, grave fathers, top pleading for the lives of your sons. I believe it's the top of the scene, Act 3, Scene 1.
Hear me, grave fathers.
Yeah, it starts with that.
Okay.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Hear me, grave fathers, noble tribunes, stay. For pity of mine age, whose youth was spent in dangerous wars, whilst you securely slept, for all my blood in Rome's great quarrel shed, for all the frosty nights that I have watched, and for these bitter tears, which now you see filling the aged crinkles in my cheeks, be pitiful to my condemned sons, whose souls are not corrupted as 'tis thought. For 22 sons I never wept, because they died in honor's lofty bed. For these tribunes, in the dust I write my heart's deep languor and my soul's sad tears. Let my tears stanch the earth's dry appetite. My son's sweet blood will make it shame and blush. O earth, I will befriend thee more with rain that shall distill from these two ancient urns, than youthful April shall with all his showers. In summer's drought I'll drop upon thee still. In winter with warm tears I'll melt the snow, and keep eternal springtime on thy face, so thou refuse to drink my dear son's blood. O reverend tribunes, O gentle aged men, unbind my sons, reverse the doom of death, and let me say that never wept before, my tears are now prevailing orators.
Okay, very nice. I saw Maggie left and came back. Let's see if she's fixed her. Let's try again. Hey, Maggie, were you able to fix it?
I don't know what it was because everything was showing up the same on this side, but I'm glad you can hear me.
That's why I think you had gone out when I was saying it, but I was saying to everybody is sometimes I've had that issue with mine and I still couldn't explain it. All I did just shut my computer down and turned it back on again, and it was fine.
Well, I just left the studio, but that was going to be my next step. But I'm here now, and I've got Jupiter lined up.
Okay, so Maggie is all ready to go with what we wanted to hear before, and we're glad we're not going to miss it completely. We problems we had, and then Henry is on deck after her. So Maggie, whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay. No more, you petty spirits of region low, offend our hearing. Hush! How dare you ghosts accuse the thunderer whose bolt, you know, sky-planted batters all rebelling coasts? Poor shadows of Elysium, hence and rest upon your never-withering banks of flowers. Be not with mortal accidents oppressed. No care of yours it is. You know, 'tis ours. Whom best I love, I cross, to make my gift the more delayed, delighted. Be content. Your low-laid son, our Godhead, will uplift. His comforts thrive, his trials are well spent. Our jovial star reigned at his birth, and in our temple was he married. Rise and fade. He shall be lord of Lady Imogen, and happier much by his affliction made. This tablet lay upon his breast, wherein our pleasure his full fortune doth confine, and so away. No further with your din express impatience, lest you stir up mine. Mount, eagle, till my palace crystalline.
Okay, great. That was awesome. Was worth the wait. Okay, so next up we have Henry, and then myself, and then John, and then we move on to our scenes. Henry, how you doing?
Very well, thank you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you fine. Henry is going to do Beatrice, what fires in mine ears, after she's heard the matchmakers talking about Benedict.
What's the play called again? Oh, Much Ado About Nothing.
Much Ado About Nothing. It's the Act 3, Scene 1. I believe it's the very end. Actually, no, not the very end, because then Benedict comes on and says something to her, and they. Oh no! I'm thinking of.
Beatrice.
I think it is the end of the scene.
Yes, I've got it. Fine. Yeah.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
What fire is in mine eyes? Can this be true? Stand I condemned for pride and scorn so much? Contempt, farewell. A maiden pride, adieu. No glory lives behind the back of such. And Benedict, love on. I will requite thee, taming my wild heart to thy loving hand. And if thou dost love, my kindness shall incite thee to bind our loves up in a holy band. For others say thou dost deserve, and I believe it better than reportingly.
Okay, nice. Okay, so now it's my son, and then Danielle joined us. So I had said I was next, so I'll go, and then Danielle will go. We missed her when it was her turn, so we're glad that she's made it. So we'll do myself, then Danielle, then John. Okay. So my monologue is going to be. Tamara. We did Titus from this play, and we do Tamara from the same play. Not So, My Lord. Give me a second to find that. All right, this one's gonna be hard. This is extremely long scene, Act 1, Scene one of okay, here we go. Not so, my lord. The gods of Rome forfend I should be author to dishonor you. But on mine honor dare I undertake for good Lord Titus innocence in all, whose fury not dissembled speaks his griefs. Then at my suit look graciously on him. Lose not so noble a friend on vain suppose, nor with sour looks afflict his gentle heart. Be won at last. Dissemble all your griefs and discontents. You are but newly planted in your throne. Lest then the people, and patricians too, upon a just survey, take Titus' part, and so supplant you for ingratitude, which Rome reputes to be a heinous sin. Yield at entreats, and then let me alone. I'll find a day to massacre them all, and raise their faction and their family, the cruel father and his traitorous sons, to whom I sued for my dear son's life, and make them know what 'tis to let a queen kneel in the streets and beg for grace in vain. Come, come, sweet emperor, come, Andronicus. Take up this good old man and cheer the heart that dies in tempest of the angry frown. Okay. Danielle, you're muted and we don't, you're there. Awesome. So we're glad you were able to make it.
Thank you.
Let's get back, let's find your monologue. So Danielle is going to do. Oh, it's been a while since it's been a long time since we've seen this one. Lady Macbeth, come you spirits.
5. Ooh, I'm very glad I made it. I mean, I was already, but this is
Yeah, I'm sure you would be when you get
quite something.
It's a good choice from the wheel. And let's see, it's in Act 1, Scene 5, approximately 31 lines in. So whenever you're ready, go ahead.
I have it. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take my milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief, come, thick night, and pour thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter, thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant. Thank you.
Sorry to cut you off a little early.
I'd realized there was a little more and I wasn't sure to go on or not.
You're more than welcome to do that part after Macbeth enters. Okay, great. Where's John? There you are. Okay, John, you get to the last monologue before we transition to scenes. Okay, everybody, John is going to do... Ooh, Shylock, half-nodded GIs.
Okay.
Act 3, Scene 1.
Okay.
One is, I do believe it starts a little bit earlier. I think, half-nodded. I think, blah, blah, he has done why, because I am a Jew. Half-nodded. So start from basically wherever, I can't remember the exact line it starts with, but that's where you can...
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me. Have you found it? You ready?
Yeah, I have it.
Okay, so whenever you're ready, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. To bait fish withal, if it will feed nothing else, it will feed my revenge. He hath disgraced me, and hindered me 500,000, laughed at my losses, mocked at my gains, scorned my nation, thwarted my bargains, cooled my friends, heated mine enemies. And what's his reason? I am a Jew. Hath not a Jew eyes? Hath not a Jew hands, organs, dimensions, senses, affections, passions? Fed with the same food, hurt with the same weapons, subject to the same diseases, healed by the same means, warmed and cooled by the same winter and summer, as a Christian is. If you prick us, do we not bleed? If you tickle us, do we not laugh? If you poison us, do we not die? And if you wrong us, shall we not revenge? If we are like you and the rest, we will resemble you in that. If a Jew wrong a Christian, what is his humility? Revenge. If a Christian wrong a Jew, what should his sufferance be by Christian example? Why, revenge. The villainy you teach me, I will execute, and it shall go hard, but I will better the instruction. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so we're now ready for short scenes. There's 8 of us, so let's spin to get enough scenes for all 8 of us to get a part. So the first scene we'll do. Oh, okay, Macbeth and Lady Macbeth. I think this is the what's done is done scene. Where he's telling her about where he's planning the murder of Banquo. So Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in Act 3, Scene 2. Measure for Measure. Angelo and Isabella. This is the second. This is where she confronts him, and it finishes with, "But who will believe thee, Isabel?" Also for Measure, Claudio and Lucio. Julius Caesar, Brutus, and Portia in Act 2, Scene 1. So once again, the roles to choose from will be Macbeth and Lady Macbeth in Act 3 and Scene 2, Isabel and Angelo in Measure for Measure, Claudio or Lucio in another scene from Measure for Measure, and Brutus or Portia from Act 2, Scene 1 of Julius Caesar. And the first choice amongst those 8 roles will be made by myself. I'll take Angelo in Measure for Measure. Next choice will be made by Philia. Philia, what would you like?
But I think I want to be Lucio in Measure for Measure.
Lucio, and okay, got it. Ted, what would you like to be?
Well, I'd like to try Macbeth. It might be a stretch, but let's see.
Awesome. Actually, that would have been my choice, but I think I played that role in this scene in Wheel of Shakespeare before, so Danielle,
Could I have Claudio, please?
Claudio. Maggie, what would you like?
I guess I'll take Lady M.
Okay. So the roles left are Isabella, Brutus, and Portia.
Portia, please. Portia, please.
Portia. Henry's going to be Portia. And then the person who gets to choose between Isabella or Brutus is right on the line, John.
Brutus was after?
John, do you want to be Isabella or Brutus?
Brutus.
Okay, so John will be Brutus, and then that leaves so Bill to be Isabella against my Angelo. Okay. So we'll start with the two of you for the Macbeth scene.
And what scene is that?
Act 3, Scene 2. And I believe it's the whole scene. I don't think there's any.
Well, it starts with a servant, but I can just start from after the servant exits.
Okay, yeah. So just do that. So you're both ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Naughts had, all spent, where our desire is got without content. 'Tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. How now, my lord? Why do you keep alone, or sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on? Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint, both the worlds suffer, ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead, whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave, and after life's fitful fever he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst, nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Come on. Gentle, my lord, sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love, and so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence, both with eye and tongue. Unsafe the while that we must lave our honors in these flattering streams, and make our faces visards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou know'st that Banquo and his faience lives.
But in them nature's copies not etern.
There's comfort yet. They are assailable. Then be thou jocund, ere be the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate's summons the shard-born beetle with his drowsy hums hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocence of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand cancel and tear to pieces that great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens, and the crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, while night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words, but hold thee still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill. So prithee, go with me.
Okay, very nice. Now we have myself and Bill doing the Angelo and Isabella scene. So there's the servant toward the beginning, and I teach Angelo says, "Teach her the way," and then the servant exits, and I'll take it from there. Oh heavens, all fair maid, and then I'll have you enter. You know where we're starting, Bill?
I got it. I just got it. Thanks.
Okay. So I'll start with just me. Oh heavens, why does my blood thus muster to my heart, making both it unable for myself, and dispossessing all my other parts of necessary fitness? So play the foolish throngs with one that swoons. Come all to help him, and to stop the air by which he should survive. And even so, the generals, subject to a well-wished king, quit their own part. In obsequious fondness, crowd to his presence where their untaught love must needs appear offense. How now, fair maid?
I am come to know your pleasure.
That you might know it would much better please me than to demand what 'tis. Your brother cannot live.
Even so, heaven keep your honor.
And may he live a while, and it may be as long as I or you. Yet he must die.
Under your sentence?
Yea.
When, I beseech you, that in his reprieve, longer or shorter, he may be so fitted that his soul sinken not.
Ah, fie these filthy vices. It were as good to pardon him that hath him nature stolen a man already made, as to remit their saucy sweetness, that do coin heaven's image in stamps that are forbid. 'Tis all as easy falsely to take away a life, true made, as to put metal in restrained means to make a false one.
to sit down so in heaven, but not in earth.
Say you so? Then I shall pose you quickly, which had you rather that the most just law now took your brother's life, or to redeem him, give up your body to such sweet uncleanliness as she that he hath stained?
Sir, believe this, I had rather give my body than my soul.
I talk not of your soul. Our compelled sins stand more for number than for accompt.
How say you?
Nay, I'll not warrant that, or I can speak against the thing I say. Answer to this. I, now the voice of the recorded law, pronounce a sentence on your brother's life. Might there not be a charity in sin to save this brother's life?
Please you to do it. I'll take it as peril to my soul. It is no sin at all, but charity.
Pleased you to do it, peril of your soul. Were equal poise of sin and charity.
That that I do beg his life, if it be sin, heaven let me bear it. Your granting of my suit, if that be sin, I'll make it my morn prayer to have it added to the faults of mine, and nothing of your answer.
Nay, but hear me. Your sense pursues not mine. Either you are ignorant or seem so craftily, and that's not good.
Let me be ignorant, and in nothing good, but graciously to know I am no better.
Thus wisdom wishes to appear most bright when it doth tax itself. As these black masks proclaim and enshield beauty 10 times louder than beauty could displayed. But mark me, to be received plain, I'll speak more gross. Your brother is to die.
So?
And his so offense is so, as it appears, accountant to the law upon that pain.
True.
Admit no other way to save his life, as I subscribe not that nor any other, but in the loss of question, that you, his sister, finding yourself desired of such a person, whose credit with the judge or own great place could fetch your brother from the manacles of the all-building law, and that there were no earthly mean to save him, but that either you must lay down the treasures of your body to this supposed, or else to let him suffer, what would you do?
As much for my poor brother as myself, that is, were I under the terms of death, the impression of keen whips I'd wear as rubies and strip myself to death as to a bed that longing have been sick for, ere I'd yield my body up to shame.
Then must your brother die.
And 'twere the cheaper way. Better it were a brother died at once than a sister by redeeming him should die forever.
Were not you then as cruel as the sentence that you have slandered so?
Ignominy and ransom and free pardon are 2 houses. Lawful mercy is nothing kin to foul redemption.
You seemed of late to make the law a tyrant, and rather prove the sliding of your brother a merriment than a vice.
Oh, pardon me, my lord, if off falls out to have what we would have, we speak not what we mean. I sometimes do excuse the thing I hate for his advantage that I dearly love.
We are all frail.
Else let my brother die, if not a feodary, but only he owe and succeed my weakness.
Nay, women are frail too.
Aye, as the glasses where they view themselves, which are as easy broke as they make forms. Women, help heaven, men their creation mar in profiting by them. Nay, call us 10 times frail, for we are soft as our complexions are, incredulous to false prints.
I think it well. And from this testimony of your own sex, since I suppose we are made to be no stronger than faults may shake our frames, let me be bold. I do arrest your words. Be that you are, that is, a woman. If you be more, you're none. If you be one, as you are well expressed by all external warrants, show it now by putting on the destined livery.
I have no tongue but one, gentle my lord. Let me entreat you Speak the former language.
Plainly conceive. I love you.
My brother did love Juliet, and you tell me that he shall die for it.
He shall not, Isabel, if you give me love.
I know your virtue hath a license in it, which seems a little fouler than it is to pluck on others.
Believe me, on mine honor, my words express my purpose.
Ha! Little honor to be much believed, and most pernicious purpose. Seeming. I will proclaim you, Angelo. Look for it. Sign me a present pardon for my brother, or with an outstretched throat, I'll tell the world aloud what man thou art.
Who will believe thee, Isabel? My unsoiled name, the austereness of my life, my vouch against you, and my place in the state will so your accusation overweigh that you shall stifle in your own report and smell of calumny. I have begun, and now I give my sensual race the rein. Fly thy consent to my sharp appetite. Lay by all nicety and proluxious blushes that banish what they sue for. Redeem thy brother by yielding up thy body to my will. Or else he must not only die the death, but thy unkindness shall his death draw out to lingering sufferance. Answer me tomorrow, or by the affection that now guides me most, I'll prove a tyrant for him. As for you, say what you can. My false o'erweighs your true.
To whom shall I complain? Did I tell this, who would believe me? Oh, perilous mouths that bear in them one and the selfsame tongue, either of condemnation or of proof, bidding the law make courtesy to their will, hooking both right and wrong to the appetite to follow as it draws. I'll to my brother. Though he hath fallen by prompture of the blood, yet hath he in him such a mind of honor that had he 20 heads to tender down on 20 bloody blocks, he'd yield them up before his sister should her body stoop to such abhorred pollution. Then, Isabel, live chaste, and brother, die. More than our brother is our chastity. I'll tell him yet of Angelo's request and fit his mind to death for his soul's rest. See.
Okay, that was quite a scene.
I wish I had a chance to see what this looked like.
Oh, it looked great. Very, very good choice at the last minute, especially. I know that probably wouldn't have been your first choice of roles if you hadn't been chosen last, but you made the best of it. Okay, so let's see. We have Danielle and Sheila being Claudio and Lucio in an earlier, less tense moment of the same play.
Yes, we are ready.
I gotta fix the banner here. Leo and Lucio. There we go. Okay, so you're both ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Why, how now, Claudio? Whence comes this restraint?
From too much liberty, my Lucio, too much liberty. As surfeit is the father of much fast, so every scope by the immoderate use turns to restraint. Our natures do pursue, like rats that raven down their proper bane, a thirsty evil. And when we drink, we die.
If I could speak so wisely under an arrest, I would send for certain of my creditors. And yet, to say the truth, I had lief have the foppery of freedom as the morality of imprisonment. What's the offence, Claudio?
What but to speak of would offend again.
What, is murder?
No,
Lechery.
call it so.
Oh!
Lucio, a word with you.
100 if they'll do any good. Is lechery so looked after?
Thus stands it with me. Upon a true contract, I got possession of Julietta's bed. You know the lady, she is fast my wife, save that we do the denunciation lack of outward order. This we came not to, only for propagation of a dower remaining in the coffer of her friends, from whom we thought it meet to hide our love, till time had made them for us. But it chances the stealth of our most mutual entertainment, with character too gross, is writ on Juliet.
With child, perhaps?
Unhappily, even so. And the new deputy now for the Duke, whether it be the fault and glimpse of newness, or whether that the body public be a horse whereon the governor doth ride, who newly in the seat that it may know he can command, lets it straight feel the spur, whether the tyranny be in his place or in his eminence that fills it up, I stagger in. But this new governor awakes me all the enrolled penalties, which have, like unscored armour, hung by the wall so long that 19 zodiacs have gone round, and none of them been worn, and for a name now puts the drowsy and neglected act freshly on me. 'Tis surely for a name.
I warrant it is. Thy head stands so tickle on thy shoulders that a milkmaid, if she be in love, may sigh it off. Send after the Duke and appeal to him.
I have done so, but he's not to be found. I prithee, Lucio, do me this kind service. This day my sister should the cloister enter, and there receive her approbation, acquaint her with the danger of my state, implore her in my voice that she make friends to the strict deputy, bid herself assay him. I have great hope in that, for in her youth there is a prone and speechless dialect, such as move men. Beside, she hath prosperous art when she will play with reason and discourse, and well she can persuade.
I pray she may, as well for the encouragement of the like, which else would stand under grievous imposition, as for the enjoying of thy life, who I would be sorry should be thus foolishly lost at a game of tic-tac. I'll to her.
I thank you, good friend Lucio.
Within 2 hours.
Come, officer, away.
Okay, very nice. Okay, so lastly we have John and Henry are going to be Brutus and Portia in Act 2, Scene 1, I believe, of Julius Caesar. Change the banner here. Have you both found the scene, figured out where to start?
Yes, I think it starts with Brutus. Portia, Brutus, my lord.
Yes.
Okay, so whenever you feel ready, go ahead.
Brutus, my lord.
Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? It is not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw cold morning.
Nor for yours neither. You've ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesternight at supper you suddenly arose and walked about musing and sighing with your arms across, and when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. I urged you further, then you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot. Yet I insisted, yet you answered not, but with an angry wafture of your hand gave a sign for me to leave you. So I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humour, which sometime hath his hour with every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition, I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief.
I am not well in health, and that is all.
Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to come by it.
Why, so I do. Good Portia, go to bed.
Is Brutus sick? And is it physical to walk unbraced and suck up the humours of the dank morning? What? Is Brutus sick, and he will steal out of his wholesome bed and dare the vile contagion of the night, and tempt the roomy and unperjured air to add unto his sickness? No, my Brutus, you have some sick offence within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. And upon thy knees I charm you, by my once commended beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one, that you unfold to me yourself, your half. Why, you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort to you. For here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness.
Kneel not, gentle Portia.
I should not need if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it accepted I should know no secrets that appertain to you? Am I yourself but, as it were, in sort of limitation, to keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your great pleasure? If it be no more, Portia is Brutus' harlot, not his wife.
You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart.
If this were true, then should I know this secret. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex, being so fathered and so husbanded? Tell me your counsels, I will not disclose them. I have made strong proof of my constancy, giving myself a voluntary wound here in the thigh. Can I bear that with patience, and not my husband's secrets?
O ye gods, render me worthy of this noble wife. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go in a while, and by thy bosom shall partake the secrets of my heart. All my engagements I will construe to thee, all the charactery of my sad brows. Leave me with haste. Scene.
Okay, very nice. So we had a good round this time. Let me. I mentioned the reading I had done, and I would like to do another with that group. And I'm taking suggestions from people in terms of what we can do next. I've mentioned that, and I believe it's a week from tomorrow. Vincent's doing the Eager Beaver Shakespeare again. That Ted, I know Ted's doing that with me, and Ted and Sheila, and maybe some others. Does anybody else have just put it in the private chat, because I can't add you all in the stream at once, but if you have another announcement to make before we finish, shoot me a little text here, and I'll add you to the stream so you can make your announcement before we finish. Okay, if not, then we'll just say, let's just close with a moment of silence in memory of those who lost their life on this tragic day 20 years ago. Okay. Thank you for that, and look forward to seeing you guys again, same time next week. Bye now.